We was on the bottom, yeah. Now we headed to the top, new level. On my level, don't see anybody, I don't see him. This right here could never stop, this could never stop. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. Ay, this right here could never stop. Hold up, nah, nah. One time, ay. I live on the job, right? Yeah, I'm always at work, right? Real people stay by me, right? Haters wanna do hurt, right? Know they tryna stop me, right? Drag my name through dirt, right? I don't feed into the hate, right? I just answer with a smirk.
What's happening right here? They're hanging slaves, right? Okay, what about here? You see what's happening here? They're taking them captive, right? Let me ask you a question. You read the Bible before? Yeah. Do you believe in the Bible? All right. What if I told you that all of this you see right here, the slaves, them taking the slaves, them forcing them, burning them alive, what if I told you that was in the Bible? Do you agree that this is your history, the history of your ancestors? All right. Well, watch this. You know about the history of Moses, how he led the children of Israel out of Egypt, right? Well, those same people, God said those people would go into slavery and they would be cursed.
Bring it up.
Those people and the descendants of those same people. So right now I'm about to show you something really heavy. You're going to learn who you are today according to the Bible. Now I want you to do me a favor. You can put that down. You can put that down. I want you to look on this sign right here. Where is your father's race from? Is he like so-called African-American, Jamaican, Haitian? Your father's so-called Jamaican, right? So you said Jamaican. Now the reason you see it says right here Jamaican, right? On the right side. West Indies, right? Because the West Indies, islands, Jamaica, the Caribbeans, all that. This is what the world calls you. This is what they called your ancestors when they put them in slavery. But right here, this is what God calls you.
That's right.
Now I have a question for you. Would you rather go with what God calls you or what man calls you? God, right. So we're going to show you that. Read verse 45.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45.
Let me know if I'm going too fast. You know, don't be, just interrupt me. Don't be shy to ask questions, all right? Read.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee.
I got a question before I continue. What does the word Jamaica mean? Oh, so you know that. So do you look like a land of wood and water?
Bring it up.
No, you don't. That's a good thing. That's a good thing that you know. But now we're going to show you more that nationality, it's made up. It's not real. All right? Read.
Moreover, all these curses.
So God says, moreover, all these curses. Now I got a question for you. Is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? It's bad. It's always bad, right? Somebody curse you out, you get mad. Like, come on, man, you can't do that to me. Right? It's a bad thing. What? Read.
Shall come upon thee.
So God says it shall come upon thee. Now that's very specific. God didn't say, hey, these curses are going to come upon you and everybody else. What did it say again?
Shall come upon thee.
God says these curses will come upon you. All right, read.
And shall pursue thee.
Now it says it shall pursue you. What does it mean if you're pursuing something? You what? Destroying? That's a part of it. If you're pursuing, that means you're running after something. Right, it's going to try to get you. So God says these curses are going to always try to get you. They're going to be on you. Right? So read.
And overtake thee.
So God says these curses are going to overtake you. Another meaning for that, it means these curses are going to be upon you as a people. Read.
Till thou be destroyed.
Now stop. It says till thou be destroyed. Now we got to get the more sense of that. It says destroyed, but what type of destroyed does it mean by that? I want you to think. Sin? That's right. That's actually right. That's actually right. Because of our sin, the curses would destroy us.
Right.
Now I want to show you a curse that is heavily on our people today. All right? Because when you came up here, you said you were so-called what? You said you was Jamaican. Now give me verse 46. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46. Bring it up. And they.
So that it says, and they. What do you think that they is talking about? It's what we read in verse 45. What did I ask you was a good or bad thing? The curses. It says, and they. The they is talking about the curses. So read.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
It says, and the curses are going to be upon you, Marlon, for a sign. Now let me ask you a question. What does a sign do for you? It tells you things, or it shows you something, or it signals you, right? So a sign is an identification marker. Like if you see that sign over there, you wouldn't know that sign was said auto service if it didn't have the sign on it. If it was an empty building with no cars in front of it, with no sign, you wouldn't know what it was. But since the sign is there, you're like, oh, damn, that's an auto service, right? So God says the same way that building over there, you can identify it as auto service, you're going to be able to identify the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans as these people in the Bible,
right,
who are the Israelites.
That's right.
All right, read.
And for a wonder.
Now it says for a wonder. When you're going to see the curses on these people, you're going to wonder. You're going to be like, damn. Why is it that the so-called Jamaicans call themselves Jamaican today when the name has no meaning? Why is it that the so-called Jamaicans, the so-called Haitians, and African Americans, why is it that we got conquered by the same people? Or why is it, what's the condition of the Caribbeans right now since the hurricane hit? Yeah. Yeah. So what's the conditions like? Describe it to me. No houses, no jobs. What else? When your people try to come over here, what did Trump do? He said no, right? All right, I'm gonna show you that. Keep reading.
And upon thy seed forever.
So it says upon thy seed forever. Not only will it be on you, but even if you have kids, these curses are gonna be upon them, right? So, like I said before, I asked you the example of what's happening to the people in the Caribbean since the hurricane hit. They said they have no houses, right? Give me verse 16. They said they have no houses. Trump, when they try to come into America, Trump said, no, you can't come here. I'm afraid they might have gangs or something like that. That's a curse. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that no matter where you go, the curses are going to be upon you. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16.
Bring it out,
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
God says, cursed shalt thou be in the city. It doesn't matter if you're in Jamaica, if you try to come to America, the curses are going to still be upon you. Because the number one reason that people in the Caribbean islands try to come over here after the hurricane was because of what? Because they have no home. They're just trying to survive. But God says, it don't matter where you go. Because a lot of our people from the islands, we think when we come here, we're going to experience a better life. And in a sense, it's not really all it's cracked up to be. God says you're still going to be cursed. Because you know why? Because when you come to America, what do you see on the news all the time? Another black man shot. Another black girl missing. Another black man in a chokehold. Overdose on drugs. Oh, these Jamaicans, man. Smoking weed. The Rastafarian life. I know how it is. Because those are the things we have adopted because we're a cursed people. Now God says no matter where you go, you're always going to be like that. So is that? Yes, smoking weed is bad.
That's right.
Do you smoke? You smoke cigarettes? Cigars? Either way, it's bad. Go ahead, give me 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. I'm gonna show you something because in the Bible, that's like, remember what you said earlier? I said, what's the reason you think we're in the conditions we're in? And you said what? The word starts with an S. No. Yeah. 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 3-letter word, starts with an S. It's okay if you don't know. It's sin. Sin, remember you said that, right? Yeah. It's because of sin. Now I'm going to read this to you. Now let's see what God says about smoking. Read.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
Let me ask you a question. You care about your body, right? You want to keep your body in shape, keep it looking nice, right? God says, don't you know that your body is the temple?
Right.
God says your body is a temple. Do you know what kind of compliment that is?
Right.
Says if your body is a temple, do you think you can put just anything in your body? No? All right, let's see, read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
God says, not only is your body the temple, but God says, my spirit dwells in you.
Right.
That kind of body, you can't just put anything in it. God, these bodies right here, we're just borrowing them. And God says, hey man, while I let you borrow this, here's the things you can do, here's what you can't put in it. You can put food in it, but don't put smoke in it. Don't put drugs in it, right? Let me ask you a question. What are some ways you can defile your temple? Smoking.
Right.
What else? What is it? Piercing? No, I wouldn't say that's it, piercing, but tattoos, yes. You defile your body with tattoos. What else? Think. What do men like doing more than anything in this world? Having sex. Having sex unrighteously. That means you're sleeping from woman to woman to woman.
Right.
That's how you defile your temple.
Right.
Because when you do that, what happens to you? If you have unprotected sex with too many women, what happens? You get diseases. You get HIV, you get AIDS, gonorrhea, whatever you want to call it, right? Now keep reading. Listen to what the Bible says.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
God says, how you doing, brother? Come back. I want to show you these pictures right quick.
Come on.
No, hold on. Just hold on for just a second. So you heard what it just said, right? Read it again for the brother.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
What do you think that means? That's plain as day. Yeah, in a sense, yes. God says, if any man defile his temple, if you smoke weed, if you sleep around with random women, it doesn't matter what it is. And I know there's alternatives of, let's say, if you vape, you can't do that either. God says, if you defile your temple with those things, if you get drunk, yes, that's defiling your temple. God says he's going to do what?
Him shall God destroy.
God says he's going to destroy you. Now, here's my question for you. How does God destroy us when we defile his temple? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and what is it? He curses us, right? I'm glad you remember that. You're paying attention. So, no, I want to ask you something. Now that you know that God says, yeah, you're from the tribe of Benjamin.
That's right.
And a person from the tribe of Benjamin cannot be smoking.
Right.
So now that we read that to you, the Bible came out, what are you going to do? No. You said try. See, I don't like that. So it's not about trying. Because you know, most of the time when people say they're going to try, they're like, I'm going to try. But then in their minds, they're like, I really don't want to. You don't put in as much effort.
Right.
If you just said, no, I'm going to do it. I'm never going to smoke again from this day on. Don't let nobody tell you it's not possible to go cold turkey. It is possible.
Right.
When you have the word of God with you and you have brothers around you to encourage you, yes, you can stop smoking like that.
Right.
We've had many brothers that used to smoke, like a chimney.
Right.
They stop like that.
Right.
So if it's possible for them, isn't it possible for you?
Bring it up.
It is. So, but let me show you how God destroys us when we defile his temple. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 61.
This is another curse that's upon our people. Read.
Also, every sickness and every plague.
God says every sickness and every plague. Read.
Which is not written in the book of this law.
So God says any type of diseases that's not written in the Bible. Diseases like lung cancer, AIDS, HIV, all of those aren't in the Bible, but God says all of these sicknesses, read,
which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee.
It says God is going to bring those things upon you. That's how when you defile your temple, God puts those type of sicknesses on you. So that's why if you keep smoking weed, bro, it's not going to end up good for you. Or cigarette, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, what are you inhaling in your lungs? Smoke. Does smoke belong in your lungs? Because I know the first time you did it, you did what? That's because your body's rejecting it. It doesn't belong there. God made your temple a specific way. He already knows what is supposed to be in there, what's not supposed to be in there. You get what I'm saying? If you look up the studies of smoking cigarettes or smoking weed, it can change your mindset. You get what I'm saying? Smoking weed can make you effeminate. How do you think God says a man is supposed to act according to the Bible? Manly? Give me that. 1 Kings 2:2. Now hold on, let me read this to you right quick. God says that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we need to stop being effeminate. We need to stand as men.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Bring it
because
up.
God is looking for men to come back and rebuild his kingdom. Because you want to be an example to your people, right? How can you be an example when God says, how can you be an example when you don't follow the example of God?
Right.
All right, read that. I'm going to show you that.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 2. Bring it up!
God says the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native American man is supposed to act. Read.
I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore.
First of all, God says be strong. I know a lot of brothers think, oh, if you got some size on you, you got some muscle, that's how you're strong. But that's not how it is, not at all. Read.
And show thyself a man.
God says you are supposed to show yourself a man. Like, give me some attributes of what a man is. Give me Titus. Give me Titus right quick. What are some attributes of a man? The way they carry themselves. Now, I like that answer. The way they speak, right. Now, how are you supposed to carry yourself or conduct yourself?
You're supposed to carry yourself or conduct yourself as a man. What's your name? Martin? But Marlon, right? So now I'm gonna say this, Marlon, because like the brother mentioned, smoking weed, it desensitizes our brain, right? Our mental. And it causes us to do things that we normally wouldn't do, right? So how do you show signs of being a man? Give me 2 Ezra 13 real quick about the weak nature. Give me 2 Ezra 14:13. Let me show you something. A part of being a man, right, is doing things that women won't do. For example, now watch this, Marlon. Women wear purses. Women wear fanny packs, right? Women do certain gestures that a man wouldn't do.
Bring it up.
Watch this.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 14, verse 13. Bring it up.
14.
Verse 14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature.
What did God say?
Put off now the weak nature.
So guess what? We as black people, our people are weak.
Right.
And America smoking weed has brought us to that low estate of being weak.
Right.
And God hates that spirit. He says for our men, they need to be men to get back how we used to be like. Smoking weed, you're going to say, you know what? That's okay. I'm not going to judge them because I'm not doing that.
Right.
But they can do that. As long as they don't bother me, it's okay. But what you think God think about that?
Bring it up.
Romans. Give me Romans chapter 1. Huh? God is wicked.
Right.
It's evil. Huh? Bad. But guess what? God says people that do that and people that agrees with that, you don't even have to be doing it.
Right.
But if you agree with it, right? And if you rolling in the same spirit of wearing a fanny pack, putting your hand on your hip like that, guess what? Guess what? God says you're gonna get the same judgment.
Right.
Give me that. Romans 1. There you go. Give me Romans 1. What that said, verse 25.
Check it out.
I got you.
The book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25.
Bring it up!
Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshiped and served the creature more than the creator.
Because our people change the truth of God into a lie.
Right.
They say, guess what? It's okay for you to be a homosexual.
Right.
God ain't gonna do nothing to you for that. You can be you can come out who you want to be. Right? Read.
Who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affection.
God did what?
Gave them up unto vile affection.
God says, because you don't want to hear this Bible, I'm going to let you do what you want to do, the evil that you want to do, because there's a judgment coming for it.
Right.
Huh? No, that's Romans. Romans. Hold on, Marlon. Hold on.
For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust, one toward another.
So it's the natural uses for a man to be with women and women to be with man. Now, having a feminine or woman-like feature or woman-like nature, right, can lead you into the cause of tendencies, can lead you into the path of loving another man.
Right.
Right? Or becoming a homosexual. Okay, listen as you go. Just listen, hold on.
Men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
Go to verse 32, this is the point.
Who knowing the judgment of God.
Knowing the judgment of God, because you Marlon said it's a wicked thing to do that, right? Who knowing the judgment of God, read.
That they which commit such things.
They that commit homosexuality, men that are effeminate, right? Those that do such things.
Are worthy of death.
Are what?
Worthy of death.
So if you, do you want to be worthy of death in front of God? So what must you do, Marlon? Change what? Huh? What's your acts? What's something you got on right now? No, it's a fanny pack. That's a fanny pack. That's a fanny pack.
Bring it up.
Oh, I don't. Watch this. Go. Let's see what God said. Go to appearance. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. You said it don't look like women, right? Okay, let's see what God said, Marlon. Let's see what God says. Yep. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22. Abstain from all appearance of evil.
From what appearance?
All appearance.
Some appearance.
All appearance.
But it don't look like it belongs to women.
All appearance of evil.
God says abstain from all appearance of evil.
Right.
Right? God has a dress code for the men. He has a dress code for the women.
Right.
Let's go to that real quick. Deuteronomy 22:5. Because something like that can lead to bigger things. Now I want to show you. Deuteronomy 22:5. So you said change, right? The fanny pack, got to do what? You gotta take it off and don't wear it again, right? Give it to your daughter or your wife or something. Cigarettes, you gotta let that go. The cross on your neck, who taught you that cross on your neck?
Bring it up.
Who taught you that? Huh? What is the history of that image you got on your neck right now? Habakkuk 2.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Christ's crucifixion? I'm gonna show you. The image you got on your neck is the same thing they did to our people. Where's that? Hold it up. Right here. They burned the village leader, the cacique, they burned them and said, if you don't bow down to Christianity, we're gonna burn you alive. And now we pass that from generation to generation to generation and say, if you don't wear this cross, you're gonna get put to death.
Right.
And now we do that thinking God protecting us, but guess what? That's actually the white man, our oppressors. That's his religion that we got on our neck.
Right.
So do you want to have the same faith as your oppressor?
Bring it up.
People that don't care about you? Huh? Let me show you where that came from.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 18. What profiteth the graven image, that the maker thereof hath graven it?
So what you have on is a graven image, right? And God says, what profit this graven image? It's just a piece of silver. It's nothing, right? Go ahead.
The molten image and teacher of lies.
Of what?
Teacher of lies.
It's a teacher of lies because they tell you if you wear that, you got Jesus' love, you got Jesus' hope. But guess what? You got your forefathers' grave on your neck.
Right.
Hold on, go ahead.
That the maker of his work trusted therein.
See that? So Marlon, you got to take off that cross, right? You got to take off that fanny pack.
Right.
Because you are a man.
Right.
You are a God on this earth.
Right.
Right.
You are an Israelite from the tribe of what? Tribe of Benjamin.
That's right.
So Marlon, you got to change.
Used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.